is bad. This is very, very bad. You look well-traveled, friend. Are you, by chance, going to Sargento? I can make it worth your while. Opportunity. Or that's what I thought, until I angered de Vivec by failing to deliver the special mushrooms he ordered on time. Lost the shipment. Now I'm in a bind. I have the mushrooms, but I'm afraid fear will evaporate me for late delivery. You aren't at fault for the late delivery, so fear shouldn't do anything to you. Won't do anything to you, I mean. I guarantee it. Besides, I'll let you keep the payment here as me as well. I'd rather avoid the situation altogether at this point. You're saving my life here, friend. I don't dare refuse the order, but I also don't want to meet a displeased Telvanni. For someone who's helping me out this much, you can ask as many as you like. Sargento is up on the eastern coast, so you could walk, but I wouldn't recommend it. Talk to Synda, our local navigator. She can sail you up there on her next trip. That's how I was going to get there until I missed my delivery time. The Telvanni aren't like you and I, friend. They're powerful and quick to anger and have no qualms about harming those who displease them. No clue. If a Telvanni mage wants them, I can only suppose they have magical properties. You won't see me putting them in any of my stews, that's for damn sure.
I don't like the way the mountain rumbles these days. Makes me glad we're about to set sail and leave all this disaster behind us. We're headed to Sargento if that's where you'd like to go. Just decide quick. I want to sail on the next tide.
Yes?
There a copper or two?
I can't believe they want us to... You look like the traveling sort. In your excursions, have you perchance come upon a young dark elf named Vea? She went missing a couple of weeks ago and her father desperately seeks any information regarding her whereabouts. That's a shame. Her father, Eris, the house counselor here in Balmora, promises that anyone who can find his daughter and return her safely to his side will be well rewarded. You should speak to Counselor Eris. He's opened the kin house to interview potential recruits. Freelancers, as it were. If you're interested, go speak to the counselor. The longer Vea remains missing, the more distressed Counselor Eris becomes. Counselor Eris can be found at the Redderin kin house, and do hurry. He's ever so troubled by our failure to locate young Vea. If he finds that an outsider can succeed where the house guard has failed, so be it. I have no issue with Counselor Eris seeking help. It's where he's decided to get that help that concerns me. House Redderin doesn't need outsiders to take care of its business. But who am I to question a house counselor? How can anyone not know about House Redderin? Is this some sort of Outlander ruse? Well, in that case, Redderin is the grandest of the great Dunmer houses. We champion the virtues of duty and piety, and we have a proud military tradition. Our house comes first in all things. I don't understand why Eris seeks outside help. If I knew what happened to the Counselor's daughter, I wouldn't be talking to you now, would I? As far as we can tell, she left of her own accord. There wasn't any foul play involved that we're aware of. Beyond that, you'd have to ask the Counselor. Counselor Eris Relith oversees Redderin operations in Balmora and the surrounding countryside. He's very influential, very powerful. Usually, the Counselor doesn't allow his passions to get the better of him. But Vea is his daughter, after all.
listen to me, right?
Could you spare some gold? A little food? Perhaps a fine pair of shoes? Food sates me and clothing protects me, but gold gives me a choice. Saint Veloth illustrated the value of choice when he differentiated the good Daedra from the bad. Blessings of the three upon you.
Put your cares aside.
Did you hear? House Redern denounced the Morag Tong. Isn't that rich? Our sanctioned guild of assassins. Oh, it's all strictly above board. Necessary, even. Allows the houses to let off steam without costly wars and massive casualties. The Morag Tong are strictly professional. Nothing like that mad, dark brotherhood. Because they're getting the sharp end of the dagger, of course. Just you wait. Once a few House Halalu officials fall to the Morag Tong axe, Redrons will say the assassins are the best thing for commerce since we domesticated the Kwama.
Dark elves. Put a little fermented meat in the brew and they call out the Redderin soldiers. I don't know why I tried to share my stash with such ungrateful skeevers.
Earlier, I thought the mountain was exploding, but it was just one of those nets passing overhead. Nothing makes me want to shop like a little brush with death. How about you?
Always glad to see a fellow adept returning to our halls. I trust your search for knowledge goes well?
Trade will continue no matter how many times the mountain rumbles. What can I get you, my friend?
Honest merchant, trust this one.
I can't believe Lord Vivec wouldn't see worshippers today.
He's a living god. I'm sure he was just busy. We should have waited longer.
I know.
Don't cause
We're not getting
trouble.
any younger.
We'll have a chance to see him again. Vivec City isn't that far away, you know.
Dark elves have unusual tastes, at least in my experience. I'll cater to those tastes, mind you. Just don't ask me to eat any slime or beetle curds. Thank you very much.
Another member of our ranks. It's times like these when I love the Fighters Guild. What's the Fighters Guild? What rock did you just crawl out from under? We're an elite fighting force with allegiance to no one but our fellow guild members. You look like you'd be good in battle. What do you say? Want to join the guild? Why, we fight, of course. It practically says it all right in our name. Seriously, someone has to deal with the Daedric menace and protect the common folk from the creatures of oblivion. That's our current mandate, and an important mandate it is. Reward? You mean besides the thrill of battle and the glory that accompanies it? Our members can learn special techniques, and as you advance in rank, the Guildmaster might call upon you to deal with important missions. Then welcome aboard, and let me be the first to say what a fine addition to the Guild you're going to make. With you at our side, we'll have the Daedra on the run in no time.
Walks in the shadows between the moons, but she prefers to ride a dire wolf when the opportunity presents itself. Make sure the sharp arrow knows.
Hello, here to stable a mount? If your guar's getting a little rough in the scales, you've come to the right place. You'll find no better guar handlers than those in Balmora.
We should drink to something.
Never going to be finished.
The fire's warm and the roof doesn't leak, so come on in and make yourself comfortable.
I love seeing new faces. For a while, it was just the same old miners and the occasional traveling merchant. Thought Caroline might have to shut this place down. Look at me talking your ears off. What can I get you? At first, I assumed it was the usual house squabbles. Redrin and Hlalu arguments can get pretty heated. Then I thought maybe the Ashlanders were scaring people off. But after that proclamation... No, I'd rather not talk about that with a stranger. I like the color of your gold, Outlander. Just between us, I heard the House Guard shut down the Shulk ore mine. Something to do with violent cultists who attacked the miners and took over the place. Even got the crew chief, or so I heard.
Your custom is welcome here.
Please, if you just listen.
Take care of yourself, Father. You always were good at that.
I'm in need of a strong set of legs, Traveler. And you look like one capable of protecting yourself. Will you aid an old Mer in one last task? I have an obligation to my family. No, a duty of utmost importance. But I have grown too feeble to fulfill it. If you would take this memory stone to the few places of significance in my life, it allows one to archive memories for future generations. I hope to do this for my children, who have grown estranged. Invoke my stone at the locations I've marked on your map, and the memories I wish to archive will manifest. I thank you for your aid. Fewer than ever are willing to aid their elders in these troubled times. Now I suppose the distance with my children is my fault, not theirs. It is a rare gem. Once, long ago, Redguard warriors carried them into battle. One of the most famous was a sword singer in the First Age, Makeleleki. No historians will cherish my thoughts, certainly. But perhaps my children will come to, in time. I purchased it from my master, Drennan, a Telvanni mage of middling repute. I have served him for... how long? Many, many years. For as long as I can remember. I will serve him until I die, no doubt. But that will not be long now. Ah, yes. Mills. My son has never really forgiven me for never being here for them. He's a stranger in my own home. No. If anything, it's the other way around. Even Neria less than Mills. But both my children grew up largely on their own. My duties to Master Drennan consumed a great deal of my time. Mills especially grew up with Neria and no one else. He despises me, and I don't blame him. You'll know soon enough, as will they, I hope. I failed them as a father, but they are safe, aren't they? I kept them safe. I cannot travel with you, but I have attuned this stone to my soul. When you use it at the locations I've marked, it will summon echoes of things that once occurred there. The stone absorbs these echoes, allowing others to view them.
How may I serve?
Yes? Is there something I can do for you, Outlander? My daughter has been gone too long, and the house guard can't seem to find a wall in the corner. But why should I trust you with this task? Tell me, Outlander, how can you succeed when my forces continue to fail time and time again? An interesting insight. Perhaps you can find my daughter. Vea can handle herself, but the father worries, you understand? Anyway, I agree with your assessment. That's why I'm willing to bring in outside help on this. Vea fled after a family disagreement. She's run away before, but I'm concerned that she might have something more permanent in mind this time, and more dangerous. Vea knows how to evade the house guard, but as you said, she doesn't know you. Captain Briven oversees the house's attempt to locate my daughter. You should speak to him and see what his investigation has already turned up. He's probably patrolling the town square at this time of day. Briven's soldiers have been trying to get information out of Vea's friends, but those young men and women are almost as good at avoiding the house guard as my daughter. That is a private matter. If your investigation proves fruitful, and such matters become relevant, we can discuss the particulars then, but not before. Like my daughter, my wife has a mind of her own. What the two of you discuss is your own affair. Just understand that I haven't employed you to solve my family's problems. I only need you to find my daughter. Vea has always been fascinated by the Morag Tong. Even admired one of their agents when she was growing up. It's possible she sought refuge with this agent, or even decided to join the organization. Though I hope I'm wrong about that. The Morag Tong? They're an ancient guild of assassins sanctioned by the Tribunal to carry out honorable writs of execution. Ostensibly, they're supposed to keep the houses from resorting to all-out war. But I still find the practice barbaric. Someone of no consequence, and not at all important to accomplishing your mission. Besides, you don't find Morag Tong agents, they find you. Just pray it's not because your name wound up on one of their writs. That is a death sentence.